I got the pleasure to check out the first couple episodes of season 3 last night. Speechless, not going to ruin it for anybody.
Okay,
but I do want to
because I haven't seen it yet.
we haven't really seen it.
Don't worry, I'm not going to ruin it for you guys.
So our publicists, our team of publicists are like, Omari, Lela, do you guys need talking points? And I think we're okay because it's season 3, so we know the characters and the story so well.
We're just BSing a lot.
We don't remember, we are just BSing, but which the characters at times do, but we don't remember specifically the world that you perused last night.
Well, we're going to go back to season 2. Like I said, we're going to start off season 3 for the fans the right way. Let's talk about the evolution of the relationship between James St. Patrick and Angela.
Yeah.
And how did you guys see that when you're reading the script? How did you guys see to create that chemistry on screen?
Well, when we saw, when I saw it, and perhaps Lela got it before I did or whenever, but yeah, I was cast before her and before the rest of our leads, that being Joe and Notori. And so their relationship was interesting. A guy falls in love in high school and then the girl leaves. And I look at it, being a poet, I'm going to look at it, everything. If I'm playing a murderer, if I'm playing somebody that's in love with a girl, I'm going to look at it beyond that. And so it was easy for me to look at the depth of departure, abandonment issue. We all carry it. Some greater than others. So there's an abandonment issue in this guy. His father died, his mom was never there, and then the love of his life leaves at 15. So I saw it as that he was an abandoned kid. Not necessarily what Omari has grown up with. Very different from my life. So for me, the chemistry was immediate when the things that I felt I needed to pull from to play this guy walked in the room in Lela. She encompassed it when she walked in, and I was like, she didn't carry necessarily abandonment or carry certain, but she had in her, like, it's okay. Her eyes and her personality, Lela has a lot of hope. So that thing is like, it's okay, we'll figure it out. She has a lot of we figured out, strong mother, some, half mestiza family. And so she's got a strong warrior thing in her that as an African-American man who's part American Indian, and a lot of Irish, I'm definitely akin to beyond character breakdown, just as a dude. Gotcha. So she walked in and she had that, and I was like, there's that. And so the chemistry is perhaps bounced in that way from my perspective.
Speaking of that, Lela, when you first read the script, as far as your character, what is it that drew you to that character immediately?
I think, for me, it was her vulnerability in the sense that I've always found the tougher the outer shell, the more fragile and tender the center, and so playing that contradiction that is Angela. And for me, what was really fascinating was really having to ask the question, why did she leave the way she did? Because she didn't just leave and continue to call him. She was in love with him, big capital Love, and she cut it off, meaning she cut off a piece of herself, which meant that she loved him so much that it had to scare the living shit out of her at that age. So then to play a woman who's divorced herself from that, and then when she gets it back, you have to think of yourself as stunted. So I think the convergence of this very capable woman who has this sort of teenage reawakening and getting to play, all of that I thought was a huge, huge challenge and very enticing.
So last question for both you guys before we get out of here. Favorite parts of season 2? Let's start with the ladies first.
Absolutely.
Oh, I think my favorite part of season 2 was that piece where I was dealing with Holly as a character, and she changes my world upside down.
For me, it would be the rush of all the characters. Season 2 to me, and Lela and I talked about this a lot, we were like, Season 1 was a nice, slow build, setup. Season 2 was like, boom. Season 3 kind of goes back to you having to really pick apart some things. Perhaps 4 will follow the pattern of 2. So if that pattern is more of the rocket ship takeoff for all characters, you just saw the massive flush out of all these characters and the pace picking up. And
Season 2
and then
Ghost.
The separation of Tommy and Ghost was really difficult for me as an actor, but it was also really kind of cool because it meant that we would see an effort for them to get back together. So that was a big thing for me. Everybody else is in my life, but he wasn't. Joe's Tommy is not in my life as much. So that was a big, cool thing for me.
Season 2 was like Ghost trying to kill bed bugs.
Oh, all over him.
Well, fortunately,
in New York City.
Fortunately, season 3, we get to see how that evolves.
All of that evolves.
I want to thank you guys.
Did he get rid of all the bed bugs?
Great show. Thank you guys. Thank you very much for your time.